Hey all, buildthewalltv.com here. Yesterday we posted a hidden camera loop of about 46 minutes of unauthorized crossings, cartel members, AK-47s, drug smuggling, and there's some really incredible footage that I wanted to highlight in there. Just two pieces for you so you know a little bit more about what you're seeing. This was yesterday's count. Let's see what we're at today. You have 5,582 views. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a couple of things you see in this video clip. First, let's talk about how you see this stuff. What you do is you go to the internet and you go to buildthewalltv.com. When you go there, this is what you see is basically a presentation of a network channel. Right now we're streaming Liberty One TV through this live view, and then we have a couple, here's where you're going to see the videos. But in order to see all the videos on buildthewalltv.com, you're going to want to click here on this video section. There's another part of this website that's incredibly important. It's this Donate Now button. This brings you to gofundme.com/buildthewalltv, and that gives us a donation. We're doing great things with this money. We buy field cameras. We're looking at some security options for this section of the border. Look, I think the American people have had enough, especially after you see what we bring to you, actual events from the ground down here. This money's going to go to some things that are going to secure this community around us, whether there's a border wall or not, and we're holding our breath. So let's move on here and get you the information. I'm going to move as fast as I can, not to bore you. First off, we're going to look at some kind of smuggling operation where they're bringing women across the border. And let's get that started. And I'm going to tell you right now, I counted 22 just in this video. So look right here. These are women. And again, these ladies are coming through on the open 25-mile stretch to the west of Nogales, between Nogales and Sassabee, Arizona. It is a extremely rugged and arid terrain. There aren't women and children coming through this area. It's basically smuggling operations. So that there, what you saw, folks, is a group of women being smuggled across the border. And in between them, oftentimes, they'll have ground scout leads. Okay, let's move on. This is one of the most damning videos you're going to see. This is captured in April of 2018. And let me show you what you're looking at here just to start, okay? Right here, you're looking at, let's give all credit to ArizonaBorderRecon.org. You got to visit that site. Tim Foley, he's done some incredible work. This guy is a patriot. Let's give him all credit due. You're looking at an area here that is at the bottom of three canyons. Okay, to the west, you have mountainside like this. To the east, you have mountainside like this. And to the south, you have even steeper mountainside like this. To the north, you have two valleys that fork up here and head up. So there's one of two ways to go north. So it's kind of a convenient, secluded border crossing. What you're looking at right here, this fencing, is the U.S.-Mexico border in this portion of the border. This barbed wire cattle fencing here runs down right over here, and then right down over this little hill right here, there's a river, little teeny stream that comes down, and here's the border fencing up here as well. So down over the hill right here, and you'll see this in some other videos of this area right here. It's high traffic. But there is cattle fencing that crosses the little stream right down here, and it's even less sturdy than what you're looking at here. But let's start watching this video, and I'm going to show you some things that boggle your mind. Okay, this is the cartel. They got horses. They're in on horse. They're armed, Now we're going to show you this fella right here we think is a VIP package. Okay, now let's look at this fella here. He's the package. Okay. And he's getting ready to have a cigarette here. There you go. Let's take a look at this guy. This video, this image. It's out of control. This fella here, he's brown. Of what descent, we don't know. Cartel member right here. Cartel horses. Do you see what I see here? This is a badged officer with the cartel on the border, and based from the sum of all the footage, this is the gentleman that is the package. Now we believe what's happened here, based on the way we know things operate here, is there was a dispatch by the cartel to facilitate the movement of this gentleman north. And what the cartel does is they dispatch scouts to the mountaintops. And they're on these mountaintops going all the way north. And they're up there with binoculars, optics of all sorts, and communications. And so we see this as a VIP package heading north. Cartel members were dispatched to the mountaintops and then guided this person north. Okay, now let's move on here. Okay, so here's your badged officer, just making sure Mexico's getting their official approval on this. It's unbelievable. All right, now here's a cartel fella you haven't seen. Watch this. AK-47 right there. Did you see that? Right there. Okay, that's an AK-47. Okay, next. Okay, so they're over here. Here's the guy in the stream, hanging out, having some chips. Horses are, having their daily meal. Look at, they're all carrying water jugs for the cartel members. But keep in mind, okay, now who's this guy? Okay, here's some more guns. There's an AK. Okay, now look at this one right here. This is some kind of camouflage pump action shotgun or something like that. Okay, there we go, right there. What is this? Now, see, I would say that's an AK, but it's not. It's that looks to me like an AR style. It's got kind of an AK clip on it, but it's an AR style platform. There are those that exist out there. He's also got some optics on there. Look at his radio. He's got a radio. See, these guys are equipped, folks. This is a professional operation. There are victims on both sides of the border from this border insecurity policy. Okay, now look right here. This fella's on the U.S. side of the border right now. He's in America. And you know what he just grabbed right there? That's a can of pinto beans from the water drops, the humanitarian water drops. You need to believe it. There's a humanitarian operation out here that places water drops in the mountains, and they believe that they do it for purposes of, offering water to women and children and families and stuff out there. And there's just not any women and children and families out in this area, and these water drops just so happen to be strategically placed in areas that serve cartel purposes. Okay, so that's a can of pinto beans from a nearby water drop. This guy's hungry. The VIP's hungry. Here's some beans. You just walk over here. We got the coordinates maybe for a water drop. Go ahead and have some beans. Again, the horses are in Mexico right now. Okay, and it looks like they're packing up and getting ready to leave. So we got no more package. There is a ladder. Okay, so that's not, there's a ladder scene there where a fella in black is seen waving at the guys heading north. Bye-bye. So that was in April of 2018. on President Trump's watch. Okay, let me tell you map-wise, so you know what we're talking about here, the area that is affected by this. This is Nogales, and this is Sassabee. And this is the 25-mile stretch that is largely unprotected, mostly just by cattle, fencing, barbed wire cattle fencing. Now, I want to show you this. This is an interesting petition from the local area ranchers to the government to build the wall. There's 5 of them here. And ranchers, there's a lot of ranchers down here that do a lot of good business. And let me read this to you. See, this is the level that people are having to go to around here. Okay? Whereas one of the most active drug smuggling and human trafficking corridors in the nation is the international boundary between Nogales and Sassabee. And keep in mind, that's what I just showed you. Nogales, Sassabee, ranching area. All this, you can't believe it. The most rugged mountain areas down here, there are cattle. And it's just free range. Whereas 25 miles along the border area of Arivaca is only marked by an old 4-strand barbed wire cattle fence. The Steinle Cartel has control of this 25-mile international boundary and thousands of square miles, minimally patrolled, by Border Patrol. Border Patrol has a defense in depth strategy, which means that they defend the country from way up north in Tucson. That's a different story. But it's a problem for these guys, for the ranchers. The defense in-depth strategy creates a de facto no man's land. And I can attest to you that's true. When you're down there, okay, look, I've driven these areas down all over here. Nogales, the team and I, and let me tell you, there's no phone service out here. There's no police. There's no radio service. There's no border patrol. There's no border fence. There's no border wall. There's no communication. You dial 911, you'll get nothing, and that's if you're in town, couple-hour response. Most of the time it's border patrol. This is a true no man's land. Okay, then we go on here. They talk a little bit more about, the defense in depth. Therefore, be it resolved, border ranchers petition our government to construct an adequate security barrier such as a bollard-style fence at the border, good all-weather, well-maintained roads leading to the border and along it. Now, this is really important. Border access is border security. Border access in this area is very limited. And I can tell you, just last week, I was down on the border all day long, and I saw one agent the whole day long, and that was up north. Modern floodgates, reliable communications, yes, it has to be done. And these are the ranchers. Now, why is this important to them? Well, they have tremendous number of people crossing over their land. They're potentially dangerous. They're drugs. The ranchers don't want their cattle moving over the border. And the Mexican ranchers don't want them moving north of the border. One of the things I can tell you about border security, based on all the things we're learning down here, is that border security is not just about the United States, it's about Mexico as well. There are tremendous victims of border insecurity, both north of the border and south of the border. In fact, there may even be more victims of border insecurity south of the border. So really, the most humanitarian thing to do is to exercise due diligence and secure the areas. Okay. Lastly, I wanted to show you some photos. that are meaningful to us and to you as well. First, let's go to Mollie Tibbets and Kate Steinle. These two ladies are representative of victims of this border insecurity apparatus we have. And we think that it's fair that we post their photos around that border area because we all know why. This is a great photo, and it's not just of the Bearcat and the border wall. This is about a mile east of Nogales. This border area here is incredibly porous as well. I mean, this Ballard-style fence, you can climb those very easily. What this photo is symbolic of is this struggle right now between about how the Americans, most Americans feel. Americans nominated President Trump and sent him to Washington, arguably with the #1 mandate being border security. Americans feel like this about this. That's what that means to me. Another photo heading into the sunset. I mean, the thing about these Arizona sunsets is when you get away from the city, Phoenix, Tucson, whatever, and you get out into the out in the hills and the mountains, and the sunsets are just incredible. Anyway, please continue to visit buildthewalltv.com. Please share this link. The thing about it's important about sharing the link is that we don't have the budget to market it, and even if we did have the budget to market it, we can't get it marketed through social media because they censor us. Thank you, and